Up next on Inside the SCCA, getting ready for Solo Nationals. Welcome to episode 235 of Inside. No, maybe not 235. Maybe 238. I think it's 238. Whatever episode it is, it's the one we're doing today, and I'm excited about this one because it is one of our Solo Nationals preview shows, and I'll be heading out to Lincoln for my third consecutive year, third consecutive year. And Rick Myers is my guest today. Excited to have him on the show. And share a little bit about what I'm going to do for Solo Nationals, as well as the whole event as it is. Rick, how are you this morning?
I'm doing very well, Brian.
Cool. So you are coming to me. We're recording this the weekend before everything kind of gets underway. And this will air on Tuesday, I think, or Wednesday. And but you're already in Lincoln. And we should, before we establish that you're already in Lincoln, we should establish who you are for the maybe 5 people in the SCCA world who don't know. What is your role with the club?
So my official title is Director of Rally Solo. So I oversee the rallycross and solo programs inside of SCCA. So making sure we have a national event schedule put together, everything obviously solo. I sit on the SEB as a member of the SEB currently as well, and the rallycross board as our staff member on both of those. So just kind of keeping the volunteer ball moving forward.
The only organization in the world who has more acronyms than the United States military is the Sports Car Club of America. So SEB is
Solo Events Board.
Got it.
And the RXB is the Rallycross Board.
Got it. I knew that, but I wanted to make sure that the rest of the world.
No, it's fair.
No, it's because it's funny, or not funny, cool, I guess. We get a lot of people now watching the show who don't know much about the SCCA, and it's kind of really cool to kind of do a little bit of education along with the fun stuff that we talk about. So, and letting people know how all those things work is kind of fun and informative. So, we've got you here, Solo Nationals. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of the show, of what's going on, Rick, you have been really helpful to me over the last 2 years, and now getting ready for the third year on my forays into Solo Nationals. In the first 2 years, I had my little blue Honda Fit, which I affectionately referred to as Papa Smurf. We had to have a funeral service for Papa Smurf earlier this year. He was taken out by another driver who was not paying attention here on the streets of Los Angeles, and Papa Smurf is no longer with us. And but I've replaced the car with a pickup truck, which is great, but it doesn't help me at Solo Nationals. I had planned on running a different car. I'd found a Honda Civic Type R, which was going to be a ton of fun. And maybe it's me, but the person who owns that car also got into a street wreck a couple of weeks ago. So that car was taken off the table for me. But now I'm going to run with Kevin Coyne. Do you know Kevin? I don't know. He's kind of from your neck of the woods. He might have run in your solo in your area. But he's got an engine-swapped 93 MR2 in XB. So,
oh, that'll be fun.
I'm going from the slowest car in the slowest class to one of the fastest classes in the SCCA. And I'm going to make a complete fool out of myself doing it, but it's going to be fun. So that's kind of the cool part about Solo Nationals is there's so much like sharing of cars and unusual cars that you're going to see that you may never see at your local events. Tell us a little bit about just how Solo Nats works.
So Solo Nationals has become a huge endeavor. It's actually spread across a little bit over a week. We kicked things off on Friday with our Pro Solo finale event. That's and then we run that Friday through Sunday. On Saturday, we have a Lincoln Shootout event, which is on the practice course, where we invite everybody who's done a shootout event, which used to be Cam Challenge event, out for an event there, which is has a party Saturday night at the Museum of American Speed. And then, of course, Solo Nationals itself, which I believe is still the largest amateur motorsports event in at least the United States, where we have over 1,300 competitors currently registered to go for a coveted jacket. You run 2 days. You'll either run Tuesday, Wednesday, or you run Thursday, Friday in your class, and you each day is on a different course. So we have an east side or plain side course and a west side or corn side course, and each course is has its own course designer. This year, Charles Crampert did the west course and Ken Houseal did the east course. So you'll see a little bit different flavor of courses across the 2 days, and your combined time, your best run, you get 3 runs on each course. Your best your combined time on each course determines your.
Yep. So essentially, the fastest time on the one course, you add it together with the fastest time on the second course. And if you're
Yep.
better than me, which isn't very hard, it won't be a last place time. And and that's how we crown national champion. Now, there's also the Index or PAX championship, right, as well?
Yeah. So we do measure what we do have a PAX measurement, and there is a bragging rights for that. So fastest PAX time on each set of days as well. And there's an award for that, along with a FTD for the weekend
Right.
that's given out. Cool.
And there's for those who might not know, the PAX is a formula that has been put together by, and I can't remember the guy's name who does it.
Rick Ruth.
Rick, yes, yes, and I'm going to have
Yep.
him on the show just to talk about that sometime
Oh,
because I think that'd be a fascinating show. But essentially, he comes up with a formula by looking at a whole bunch of results from a whole bunch of events across the country to determine how a Honda Fit can compete with a Chevy Corvette, how the slowest class, 8th Street, can compete with the fastest class, whatever that is. And in the end, it comes up with a formula that will smush all the times together and give a time so that it's almost kind of like bracket racing in drag racing, where, but we don't start at different times. It's all done mathematically. And it makes the ability for, when I won my one trophy behind me in drag racing, I was in a Chevy Cavalier racing against a Corvette in the final round, and I was able to beat the Corvette because I hit right. I was like within 1/100th of a second of my breakout time, which was the coolest thing in the world. But anyway, it's kind of the same idea where it allows different cars, different classes to compete against each other and get one time and crown a big champion, which I think is really cool.
yeah. And it works out pretty well. Our regions use it a lot, use the formula a lot in their events when they don't have a larger class
Right.
sizes, or where they have a pro class or something like that. And man, it works out really well. It's fun to watch and fun to see people engage in it and do comparisons.
Yeah, it does work particularly well on the region level because, like you said, I sometimes I'll go in 8th Street and there'll be 2 cars or 3 cars, and that's not as much fun as going against the entire event. So, and not that I've ever been anywhere near a trophy in the PAX either, but it's fun nonetheless. So last I checked last night when I was going on to register for my test and tune times for the week, 1,311 entries. Many years there's a wait list. Did everybody get in this year that wanted to be here?
Yeah, so we changed up things a little bit this year. Yes, everybody got to get in that 1 and 2. Generally, we've set the cap at 1,300, and then we've had to manage a wait list.
Okay.
And I kind of feel that there's every event seems to have a critical mass, and I think ours is somewhere between 12 and 1,400. And with the staff we have now and the improvements we made to timing and scoring, and quite honestly, how efficiently our volunteers are able to work and join into the process, we figured we probably can run 1,400 cars. So we set the cap at 1,400 this year, knowing we'd probably never get to it. But it just meant we didn't have to manage a wait list then.
Nice.
And so again, we're sitting a little bit over 1,300, which was our cap last year. So I'm super excited to see where we're at with numbers. I think last year we ended up around 1250. Uh, another bit, and we talked a lot about the competition side of things. The party side of things and the paddock side of things is, in my opinion, at least half, if not more, than why you come to Solo Nats.
Oh, no
Uh,
question. I'm driving across the country from California to Lincoln, Nebraska. Now, I have a little bit of a motivation because I go and make content. So I'm interested in more than just my time. But everyone else goes for what is essentially, if you're really fast, 6 minutes of competition time. And you've got
yep.
people from coming as far away as Alaska all the way to Lincoln, Nebraska for 6 seconds of competition time. So they certainly, the vast majority of them, are not coming just for the competition. There's two events at Solo Nationals. There's what happens between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m., and then there's what happens between 5 p.m. and whenever you call yourself pumpkin and time to go to bed. When I've heard the legend of Solo Nationals for 30 years because I've been in the club since middle 80s. And I've heard all this, and it's probably not quite as legend now as it used to be because now we all have social media to keep us honest. But it's still pretty epic. Tell us what happens after the last run of the day.
So after the last run of the day, it seems like there's something going on every night this year, and it just keeps growing and growing. And again, it's all volunteer driven. Staff provides help with a welcome party on Monday, but this year, Sunday, along with a pro solo banquet, things kick off in paddock with karaoke, which is going to be in the Mazda Motorsports tent about the middle of paddock or middle of lower paddock. So everybody comes and sings, and that one's always a challenge for us because nobody wants to stop singing. And we do have quiet hours at the airport, believe it or not, in which those are 10 o'clock-ish or so. So we have to kind of tone things down after that. That runs. We have the big welcome party Monday night where we've got 7 groups joining in this year. We tried something different last year with, instead of having a catered thing inside the Tire Rack Event Center or Trek, we went into paddock and we had 7 regions or groups volunteer to cook food for everybody as a sampling. And holy smokes, it was amazing to step outside of the track and start walking up what we call Main Street, and just the number of people hanging out, having fun. Uh, it was crazy, and we're gonna do that again this year.
I had so much fun on Main Street
Right.
last year, and when you said "Holy smokes," that's actually the best exclamation because there was so much smoked meat that it was so good. The Texas contingent, who I'm actually going to be hanging out with this year, which they're like party central, right there in as you get to the intersection of where kind of the upper and the lower paddock come together there. I was blown away the first year. I come around the corner and I just do a lot of driving around in a golf cart because I'm looking for people to interview, looking for interesting stories, looking for interesting cars to talk about. I come around the corner for the first time and I'm like, is that a swimming pool? And sure as heck, the Texas contingent, I'm not quite sure where they got the water from, but they put together a portable blow-up swimming pool that could probably hold 10 people, 12 people, maybe more if they're trying to be a little frisky. But my gosh, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's incredible. And I got to give a shout out to Jay Bullington this year, who's really pulled together the paddock schedule for everybody. Again, like I said, karaoke Sunday night. We have a band Monday night, Backroads,
Mm-hmm.
which is Eric Pearl's band, who's on staff with us.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tuesday is the big meets and things. There's another, Jay's arranged another band for Tuesday night.
Wow.
There's Foursquare, there's Big Wheel Challenge. It just goes on and on. I mean, there's something every night, I think. And if you go on SCCA.com and check out the the Tire Rack Solo National Championship page, all that's listed there.
So which night is the Main Street walk?
That's Monday. That'll be
That's
Monday night.
Monday night. Okay,
Yeah.
that's Monday
Yeah.
night.
So we'll do a quick kickoff in the Trek building or a Trek tent.
Right.
Announce a couple of awards. We're going to give away the Spirit of the Sport and the Dick Berger Perseverance Award Monday around 5 o'clock, and then we'll move up to Main Street and the party from there.
Yeah. It's
And I think the band goes on around 6:30.
the only hard part about any event like this is trying to find a time to do all the stuff so that everybody takes advantage of it. And my only disappointment about having Main Street on Monday night is that there's a whole contingent of people who aren't racing until Thursday, Friday, who don't always come for the entire week, and they miss out on that Monday night event. So if you're ever on the fence because you're running this Thursday, Friday, and you might, do I go and spend the whole week? Come have fun with us. There's so much to do, and of course you get to do your test and tune runs. So you got a lot of time to get the car ready, but definitely come and spend the week with us and do that because it's pretty awesome. So,
Yeah.
um,
So we're
yeah,
trying to change things up this year a little bit for Wednesday because we did get a lot of feedback that for some people, Wednesday night is their welcome party.
yes,
And that's when we announce our Tuesday, Wednesday champions and we give away some other pretty important awards. And so we're trying to put more of a welcome feel to that night's party as well.
sure,
We'll see how it goes this year. We're going to do food trucks this year instead of a just regular catered meal inside the tent.
okay.
Again, trying to give it more of a feel for the people who can't make it all week. And Thursday and Friday is it for them.
Right, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. 1,311 right now at last check entries. The other thing I was told the first time I went is that, you got to have some sort of transportation. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I mean, and they said it's enormous. I said, okay. I mean, I've done races at Road America. That's enormous. And they're like, yeah, it's pretty much Road America enormous. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. There's no way. Guess what? It's that enormous. um, I measured it because I'm a geek, and it is almost a mile from the edge of the courses to the last paddock spot. It's just so big. It's hard to grasp
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's hard to put into words until you see it. It's just incredible the amount of space that Lincoln Air Park has provided us. Uh, and so we're going on this will be our 16th official year there, would be 17th except for the COVID cancellation. So it's our longest running spot that we've been to.
Right.
Next to, we just surpassed Salina Air Park. We tied with them last year, and this year we'll go ahead. And we're hoping to continue that partnership into the foreseeable future. Uh, it's incredible. It's just incredible. There's not another spot like it in the country currently that we have access to.
You want to continue the partnership into the foreseeable future. Have decisions been made? Have contracts been signed? Can we break some news?
So currently we are still year to year on our contracts, unfortunately. We do have a new airport director. Bob McNally retired this year, and so we have a new director that I haven't met yet. But last year we did start uh, conversations of going back to a 5-year agreement with maybe a 5-year extension. So right after Solo Nats is over, we will begin planning for 2026, and I'll get the dates to the air park and hopefully be able to make an announcement of an agreement shortly thereafter. But we don't see anything hampering us at this point in time, but it is an airport and you
Yep.
never know.
Let's talk about planning. I've been to some of the biggest events in the world for motorsports, and all of them, there's a planning component, absolutely no question. But rarely is that planning component start with, I've got a blank piece of concrete and I'm going to build a racetrack from scratch. Do you literally start planning next year's Solo Nationals on September, whatever, 8th?
Yeah, we do. So we kind of all take mental notes throughout the event on what goes really well and what we think we can repeat and what we'd like to do differently. Uh, Obviously, where we lay out the courses pretty much stays consistent. We've got two areas that we've kind of designated, like I said earlier, west and east, or corn and plain-side.
Mm-hmm.
And so those are kind of a given. But what we do from there north is, hey, is there a way we can do it better? Should we move tents here? The resources in Lincoln are pretty decent for us, but we also compete against a state fair and some other things going on in Lincoln for simple things. You wouldn't think about tents, garbage,
Yep.
porta johns, things like that. So those agreements are pretty much in place shortly after our event ends
Yeah.
for next year. So yeah, the planning on and the work on it honestly never stops. There's always something going on about, hey, you know, do we think about this?
Right.
How'd that work out? Yeah.
So, being the 16th or 15th year that you've done it at this site, I expect that you really want to keep it at Lincoln because if you had to start at a new site, it would be just a horrendously big lift.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I'm going to guess that a lot of what you do from year to year doesn't change. You know who to call, you know where to get the permits. So you've basically you're not reinventing the wheel completely every week. You're just deciding whether you want a different compound tires on that wheel.
Yep. Yeah. So it does it is very helpful that we return to the same place. We've developed some great partnerships. And at the head of that is probably Visit Lincoln, which is the local kind of chamber of commerce or their, where that we have our ties with, and they're very helpful. We recently changed our trash service. We were happy with what we had. They just weren't able to provide everything that we need. And so, hey, Visit Lincoln. What do you have in the area for those types of services? They send us a list. They send us recommendations, and yeah, you're right. It's being able to go there. There's they have everything we need. It's the right size. If there's something that fits everybody's budget in the community,
Right.
you can spend oodles, you can camp, you can do whatever it is that fits your budget. Is probably the second leg of making Lincoln very special,
Yeah.
and it's a cool college town.
Well, that's the thing I found out last year, and I didn't make the same mistake this year. Last year, I mistakenly didn't book my hotel through Friday night, and I went to my hotel on like Tuesday, and I'm like, oh, I need one more night, and they're like, yeah, we've got one room left, but it's going to be $375. And I was like, excuse me, I was paying $63 for the whole week prior to this. It's not a luxury hotel, but it's nice and it's really close. And it's clean and the guy's a nice guy. But I'm like, he goes, yeah, there's a football game here Saturday night. And I don't know if anybody heard of the Nebraska Cornhuskers, but they're a big deal apparently.
Yeah, yeah. I gotta say, man, for their record in football, which is sometimes good, sometimes not, they have a cult following in the
Yeah.
state that's just incredible. Yeah, they pack the stands. They set a record for volleyball. What, 100,000
Yes.
people in a volleyball game in the stadium?
Yeah.
So yeah, they love the sports for University of Nebraska, and it's really cool to be a part of. And I think we only got one weekend this year. Last year it was both weekends. I think that we
Uh,
were in town that they had football games on both weekends. So it's busy.
I'm a huge football fan. I'm a Wisconsin Badgers fan, and we're the same way. Camp Randall gets packed whether the team's sucky or not. But I would, if I had the time, I would stay through Saturday night and actually go to the football game before I head home. But I've got this thing called work, and they want me to come back
Yep.
and work on Monday. So, but yeah, so last year I had to drive 100 miles outside of Lincoln on Friday night to get a hotel that wasn't $375. So I started heading home. But I don't want to do that because by the time we're done on Friday, I just need to sleep.
Yep.
So it worked out fine. But I didn't. I booked early this year and have a good rate. And maybe it's not as good a team coming from out of town or something. I don't know. But
Yeah.
so you're there now. When do you start actually building on the site? Like, is the Trek tent already up now, or do they come in? When do they come in and start the actual process?
Yeah, so we came up early. Andrew and I, Andrew Benna, who is our kind of
Uh,
administrative
we love
manager,
Andrew.
came up. Yeah, yep. Came up early to help out. Duncan Aviation puts on a Make-A-Wish Foundation car show
Mm.
tomorrow. So we came up early and we're loaning them all of our pop-up tents to provide shade and whatever they want to. So Andrew and I are setting up for that just as a kind of a community service sort of. I love being engaged in Lincoln. I think it's the right thing to do. So anyways, so we're up early. Tents will actually start going up first thing Monday morning. They'll be on site 6:30 Monday morning, setting the big Trek tent, and then we'll start spreading out from there. And usually takes us. We've got a pretty big crew this year, so we hire the tents out. Obviously, we
Right.
don't do that, but marking paddock and all the other things that we do, grids and everything, we'll start setting that up Monday as well. And our goal is to be done by Wednesday afternoon with all of it.
How long does it take to mark out 300 paddock, 1,300 paddock spots?
Uh, 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
And that presumes that the weather cooperates, which
Sure.
boy, I don't know. Somewhere somebody's smiling upon me because we've had 4 or 5 straight years of incredible weather. It's been hot, but no rain. So anything we've put down has stayed, and we haven't had to remark
Yeah.
anything. I probably cursed myself,
Yep.
but we'll take it. And
Well, I looked at you've got good weather this week coming
yeah,
in. So obviously it's too far out to know whether the weather guessers what we have for actual competition week. But the weather looks the temperatures are pretty mild for Lincoln standards, and it looks
yeah,
pretty dry for the week. So you should have good setup this week.
yeah. It looks like it's go well, and we got actually a really good crew this year. I think we probably have 8 or 9 people helping us out. Usually it's
Wow.
in the 3 to 4 range. So great group of we're working closer with the region this year than we have in the past across spring nats and for solo nats. So I'm looking forward to growing that relationship. So they're offering up some individuals to help us out. So I expect it to go pretty smooth.
It would be really cool to have a like an aerial time lapse camera of the setup throughout the week, and then also when you open the gates to let everybody in for pro solo, and then as people come in, because I just don't think anybody could really comprehend if you've never been there what this thing looks like.
Yeah, I've oftentimes thought about asking the airport for their footage
Mm,
for arrival so we could time lapse it all because they have cameras out that see
sure.
everything we do,
Yeah.
which is a good reminder for all of our participants that they have cameras, they see what we do.
Yes. Yes. The other thing that I thought, and I didn't never even thought about this when I first went, is that, this is an active military base, this airport. And throughout the week, you will see some really cool aircraft. If you're a plane geek like I am, everything from big transports and tankers. There's also, I believe there's a fighter wing based at Lincoln Airport because I've seen fighter jets doing touch and goes, and I don't know if they had come in from another area just to do that at Lincoln as on maneuvers or not. But you get to see some really great stuff.
Yeah, it's they moved back to Offutt when they were north and they had our planes parked for a couple years. They would bring a big transport plane down for us to check out and tour through. That was incredible. I kind of missed that. I wish that they were still on site right next to us to be able to engage us in that manner. But yeah, it's super cool. Spring Nats, we had a fighter jet kind of turn right over the courses, which was incredible,
Yeah.
and continue on.
Yeah, it's some good stuff. So let's do this real quick. I am going to thank my partners, Rick. And then
Yeah.
when I get done thanking my partners, there's a whole bunch of people that you guys have to help you make this happen. And I want to make sure we give those folks a second of time here. So give me a half a second here while I do my thing, and then I'll come back and we'll thank all the people that help us get to Solo Nationals. Of course, look over my shoulder. Oh, I always do this on this side. I failed my weatherman course. Porterfield Brakes. They are the official brake supplier of Inside the SCCA. Great people. They also support Cal Club on their live stream, and it's just a fantastic partnership with the SCCA. They've been with us for a very, very long time. Check them out at porterfield-brakes.com. Also, Babyface Fabrication. We're going to do a tech tip. Rick doesn't know that yet, but I'm going to ask him for a tech tip up here in just a few seconds. Something having to do with autocross. We'll do that. Babyface Fabrication is the sponsor of our tech tips, and we really appreciate everything they do with us as far as that goes. They're based out of North Carolina and do some great cage work and pretty much any kind of fabrication, but they're really good folks. Ray Esports, the official sim racing league of Inside the SCCA. Ray Esports, Stevie Ray has been part of the SCCA for a very long time. His leagues are based entirely off of the SCCA classes. So he does a Formula V, a Spec Racer Ford, a Global Mazda MX-5. He has Weekend Warrior leagues. Oh, Formula F as well is part of his leagues as well. Tuesday leagues, Weekend Warrior leagues. As soon as I'm done here, gonna go get ready to jump into Formula V on the sim and go sim racing. So, Solo Performance Specialties, Dave and his crew, they will be at Solo Nationals with a huge setup. They'll be busting and breaking tires all week. They'll have stuff that you can buy. He's setting me up with some. I got fat feet, Rick. Believe it it or not, no one should be surprised. I need wide driving shoes. And guess what? Dave, and SPS, they actually stock wide driving shoes. So I'm going to get myself a set of driving shoes while I'm at Solo Nationals. And great people. They've got magnetic numbers. They've got tires. They've got basically a whole bunch of accessories that you might need. Racer tape, because everybody needs racer tape. Check them out as well. Now we've got William R. Pinterick and Associates. David Pinterick, he's one of our racers, GT1 driver, Spec MX5 driver. If you don't know what to do with retirement, with your money, how to manage it, how to save it, he could help you know it. He's a GT1 driver, so he could probably tell you how to spend it too. But David Pinterick, great guy. Check him out if you need to figure out what to do with your retirement income or any kind of money management needs. And all of our partners are in the show notes. Check them out. Click on those links. Tell them I sent you. All right, back here for Inside the SCCA, and Rick Myers is our guest. He is the one of the head honchos. I probably are the head honcho, but it takes a whole bunch of people to put this thing together, Rick. Not only SCCA staff, but partners. And I went through my partners, and you told me, which is really cool, by the way, two things I want to mention before we get into the partner discussion. We are in a weird economy, and it's expensive, a lot of things going on, and not everybody is spending money like they used to. A lot of discretionary motorsports funds not spent this year, because I've been to races. Numbers are down all over. You've got 1,300 entrants, a full slate of people coming to Lincoln, spending their money. You also told me that you have more partners probably than ever, or at least a lot more than we've had in the recent past, which means people are spending their money with us to do this. That says a lot, doesn't it?
It sure does. It's incredible, the commitment that people have to SCCA and our partners. It's great to see. Yeah, our numbers were kind of mixed this year for our national level events, and on a region level, we've had some great months and some little bit slower months. But it is that for motorsports, it seems to be we've had good participation in what you like you said, in an economy that can be challenging for a lot of people. I really want to bring attention to some of ours that are going to be on site this year.
Yes.
Of course, starting off with Tire Rack. This is 30 years for them being involved with us, which is incredible in and of itself, but they're actually going to be on site this year. They're tossing around some ideas of a tire toss, which is kind of a shot putish type tire throw or football toss or something, but they're working on something to engage during the Monday night party, and happy to have them on site with us this year. Mazda Motorsports. There's no other manufacturer that's involved with us like Mazda Motorsports are. They have to offer contingency programs. They're going to be on site this year with their parts trailer. They're going to offer up a cornhole tournament on Monday as well. They're involved in the Women on Track luncheon, and I just can't say enough good things about them. They were at Summer Nats with us, and they have a couple of people that are going to drive as well. That's the other thing about our partners too, is a good number of them are competing with us this year as well as supporting the event. Goodyear is going to be on site supporting our CSM Club Spec Mustang group. Looking forward to having them on, and they have a team competing. Of course, our new partner this year, Vitor Tires, is going to be on board, and they'll be here. They're going to run some kind of competition and testing of tires on Thursday on the practice course when it's closed. Falcon Tires is going to be on hand in support of our Club Spec Miata and SSC cars. And then you already mentioned Solo Performance Specialties and RNS are going to handle all of our tire needs. And SCCA Gear will be there with some good apparel for the event, some event-specific apparel along with SCCA apparel. And as I previously mentioned, probably two of our most important local partners are the Lincoln Airport and Visit Lincoln. Without them and their engagement with us, none of this would be possible.
Yeah. It's cliche, but it really does take a village to do this kind of stuff, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I get to sit here and visit with you while Andrew's out filling up water jugs right now. But the reality is for us to run 1,400 people across 4 days of competition takes everybody. As you know, autocross is a worker participant based program where you work a shift as well as you run a shift. Everything has to be working together for us to be able to do that. It's not. I get to sit here, like I said, in front of you and talk about it, but the incredible people from competitors up through our field staff to our full-time staff that make this happen, uh, good golly, it's just amazing to watch.
There's how many SCCA staffers are actually going to be on site over the next couple weeks?
So we'll have one, two, three, probably about 4 or 5 full-time staff members, and the rest are what independent contractors, what we call field staff.
Right.
There's probably another half dozen of those. Uh, and I might have missed a couple people in there as far as on staffing. There's some marketing folks that come in and out. But
Right.
as far as staff that actually focus on solo, there are currently 3 of us that are
Right.
full-time staff.
It's time for our tech tip this week, and I've got Rick here. And is there a specific Solo Nationals tech tip that we can give people? Because this is kind of like unlike other events, and obviously it's a big deal for everybody, and not everybody gets to go to Spring Nationals. So let's do it. If you're going to Solo Nats for the first time, what's kind of like one thing you could tell people on the tech side? Is there something they need to remember to bring? Is there something that they might be surprised about when they get there that they don't have? What are your thoughts on something like that?
So if you've never been, it can be hot and we're on concrete. Lots of sunscreen and lots of water.
Hmm.
Would If those things will keep you comfortable. I remember back in one of my first experiences at Forbes, where it was hot, it was windy, and it was sandy. And after the first day, I wasn't sure I could even drive anymore because my face hurt so bad.
Yeah.
So lots of shade, lots of water, lots of sunscreen. If you keep yourself hydrated and away from the sun when you can, you'll have a lot better experience than most. That's probably outside of driving. That's huge. If you've never been on concrete and you have a chance to get on the practice course, my driving tech tip would be if something doesn't feel like it's working, make a big change
Yeah.
instead of trying to sneak up on it. Just go grossly the other way and see what happens. I think you'll get to a solution a lot quicker that way. Um,
Yeah,
so that,
definitely. Definitely. If you want to hear about a wild swing tech tip that I did at Solo Nationals last year, tune into my podcast with Dave Ogburn when we talk about tire pressures. And yes, I completely agree with that. Let me add on the little hints for getting to Solo Nats the first time. Buy your ice before you get close to the racetrack, because the two gas station, I don't remember what their chain is there. It's not a anyway, whatever the chains are, there's two, both about a half a mile on either side of the racetrack, and they sell out fast. So if you get your ice back by the hotel, don't steal it from the hotel, although I've done that before. But yeah, the gas stations close to the racetrack will sell out of their ice very early every day. So
yeah. The other thing I'd say is if try to find a buddy to help you out. Don't be afraid to ask questions. The primary staff will have blue shirts on like I have today.
mhm.
So we're pretty easy to find. And all of our chiefs will have, this year, will have basically like a backstage pass type cards hanging around their necks. Fine with them. Don't be afraid to ask questions at all. The solo community is super helpful, like you said, from loaning cars to setup tips to whatever it might be. People are there to help you. They want to see you succeed
Yep.
and not fail. So don't be afraid to ask if you are feeling lost.
And I'll be trolling the grounds all week long in a golf cart with my camera, and I love talking with people. So if you have questions, I'm happy to answer them. I'm not a 25-year, 50-time person like some people who are there, but I've been there a couple times now. I have a pretty good lay of the land. Happy to answer your questions, and I might throw a microphone in front of you and turn the camera on. So that may scare you away from asking me questions, but I am looking for interesting stories. So if you are interested in being a guest, usually the interviews take 5 or 10 minutes tops. Please find me. You can send me an email at raceannouncerbrian@gmail.com. And you could also reach out to me via Facebook. I accept pretty much friend requests from all racers. until you piss me off, and then I'll unfriend you. But yeah, so that's an easy way to get a hold of me. Find me with the little golf cart. I'll be there all weekend, all week. I try to do most of my production on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Get it all out of the way so that on Thursday, Friday, or my compete days, I can kind of concentrate on what I need to do on those days. So, but definitely Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I will be there. I also try to put together, Rick, a bunch of content for the weeks past the event, get a bunch of interviews ready for that as well. So I won't ask you this year because you've spent time with me today, but I will get some other staffers on the show while we're out there as well. How many times have you done this?
So from the staff side, this is my fourth year
Okay.
of operating Solo Nationals. I've been to Solo Nats on and off since 2002. Skipped a few years. It's funny when you join staff, which I did in 2008. It seems like all the competition side of things falls away for a bit. I've attended Solo Nats a number of times and never drove a car. So it's been kind of hit and miss here and there, but
Are you going to get to drive this year?
I am. I'm going to. I've been offered a ride in a CSX car,
Nice.
which I've been using our car for most of the season, and this year I gave it up for Eric Prill and Jonathan Black from Mazda Motorsports. So they're going to be driving it in competition, and I'm hopping in another seat that was offered to me a couple weeks ago when we're here in Lincoln. Where were we at? Was Steve Burkett. Anyways,
Yeah.
looking forward to co-driving with him. So I do get to drive this year, which is I love being in grid with everyone. The camaraderie and just everybody's vulnerable there, right?
Yep.
And so it feels really good to be in grid and looking forward to it.
You mentioned Goodyear earlier, and I'm wearing the Goodyear hat today. Goodyear is once again our presenting sponsor at the runoffs, and we announced that a couple of weeks ago. Cannot thank them enough for helping us out. Huge supporters of the club and of the podcast. If anybody's watched the shows I did with what I refer to affectionately as the Yellow Submarine, Goodyear's spec club spec Mustang, that car is going to be at Solo Nationals with some Goodyear staffers driving it. And go stop by and say hi to Jay and Nicole and the whole crew there. Not only are they racers to their core, they've got SCCA roots, and they love the club, and they love talking about tires. Nicole, one of the smartest human beings I've ever met, Nicole Stout, she's in charge of the B-Spec tire engineering side. But anyway, she loves talking tires, really smart, really awesome. So stop by and talk to those folks as well. But let's forget about the whole, all this work that goes into it, all of the it's got to be exhausting. When you get done with the event and you have a chance to take a nap and you wake up, what is the most rewarding part of putting together Solo Nationals for you?
Uh, just seeing everybody having a great time. I get a lot of energy from the individuals that are at the event having a great time and or solving their problems. If they're having an issue or something like that, finding a way to help them out. But like I said, I got to say that the amount of energy I get from the folks that are having a great time there, I think I get tired at the end of the event, but during the event, it just goes by so quick. We were actually just talking today that when we're all torn down and wrapped up, there's a few of us who are like going, oh, well, this sucks. It's over.
Yeah.
I want to go another couple days.
Yeah.
It's just that God, there's so much energy there. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I thought, and I don't know if this is ever a possibility, but it would be really cool if there was, sometimes we have rookie stripes on race cars. I think it would be really cool to have some sort of a sticker that we could put on cars of first timers. Not because I want to point out first timers, but so we can walk up to them and say, "Hey, how you doing? You having fun? Can I help you?" And I have found over the last 2 years. Well, the first year I was a rookie, so I was just going through it by myself or on my own the first time, and there's just a sense of awe and overwhelm. But when I like to talk to the newbies and just talk about their experience and not even lend a hand. They're just always so, they show up and it's like, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? And then a day or two later, that big eye turns into a huge smile. And if I find a newbie on the first day, I try to kind of check in with them every day and see how they're doing. And then at the end, I'm like, "Are you coming back?" And they're like, "Oh hell yeah."
Yeah. I would love to figure out. So Women on Track does an incredible job with
Yep.
their community, right? And I keep trying to find a way to port that over into everybody, right? I think the community that Women on Track has engaged at Solo Nationals is very supportive of the new people. They have their again, they have their brunch on Monday where they all get together and have a conversation about solo nats and everything going on inside of motorsports on the lady side of things. And I think that you're right. I think it would be nice to be able to identify the new people to make sure that because as a new person, a lot of times when you're in a new situation, you're not always not everybody has the confidence to walk up and say, "Hey, can you help me out here?"
Yeah.
And so if you reverse that and you're reaching out to them ahead of that, it makes the experience better.
And the good news is also, a lot of regions send many people, so most people probably have some regional support. But when I did it, I was fairly even new to my region's autocross program, so I didn't know a lot of people within Cal Club's autocross program, and so I was a little more maybe more on an island than everyone else. The good news is I know all the national staff because of the podcast, so I had
Yeah.
people like you and Andrew were kind of looking out for me, so that was helpful. But I just like talking with new people, even if they have support and getting their feelings and thoughts. I think it's just so cool, so cool.
Yeah.
Um,
It's funny you mentioned the region side of things. So 90 to 95% of our paddock is made up of groups.
yeah.
So almost everybody's already paired up with a group of individuals that are like-minded from their area. There's very few individuals that sign up for individual paddock anymore.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, because of my car share, I'm gonna be hanging out with the Texas group, and
Oh, cool.
and if there is one of the wildest, wackiest group of folks, that's probably it. There's a competition there, I know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but when they say everything's big in Texas, they do it big at Solo Nationals, no question. So,
They sure do.
is there something this year that's new? Probably my last question for you. Is there something this year new that people should look out for, either a change in system or is there a new event that you're excited about?
So everything's pretty much consistent. I think the only real change I think that we're making this year is trying something different for the Wednesday night
Mm,
gathering. Again, we're gonna have food trucks that people can go and make a selection from, as opposed to having a catered meal underneath the tent, and then everybody will gather under the tent if they grab food. The shootout event on Saturday, we're increasing the capacity there to that event a little bit from 80 to 100, and the format of that's going to be a little bit different than last year, but still get plenty of seat time and have some fun. But no, everything else is pretty much consistent for this year, which I like. You don't like to spring a bunch of new things on people all at
sure.
one time. Um, everybody kind of, I think that helps with efficiency at the event.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
People get, they know where impound is at. We did talk about moving registration for a bit this year and decided that nope, everybody knows where. Oh, I'm sorry, we do have a big thing. You do not need to bring your car to tech this year.
Oh,
You bring your so
that is a
yes,
big
so you
thing.
do not need to bring your car to tech. You need to bring your tech form, your helmet, and to check you'll go to check in first. They'll give you your tech form. You fill out your tech form, your self-tech form for your car. You'll bring your self-tech form, your helmet to tech, and they'll give you your tech sticker that you'll put on the car yourself. If you have concerns about your numbers, you should bring your car to tech or bring a picture of your car to make sure that they're of proper contrast and size so that people can see them on course and timing can see them. So yes, so that is a big change this year that I almost forgot to mention.
Yeah, that's an interesting change. Uh, uh,
Yeah.
I remember there's always the backup right there. The line. It's not as bad as the 405 out here on a Friday night, but it can be a
Yeah.
long line. So
Yeah.
that'll be nice and efficient for folks.
Yeah, so we started piloting that in at Spring Nats,
Okay.
and it seems to be taking on there's rules around governing letters and class letters and uh, numbers on your car and what size they need to be. And it's like, well, if we just enforce what's there, then we really don't uh, need to see your car when we've been doing self-tech since COVID era, right? So let's just continue with that and see how it goes. Make
Yep.
things a little bit easier for people.
Great. Great. So we should have 4 Inside the SCCA shows if all goes well. We put one out every night, Thursday, starting Tuesday, and
Awesome.
it'll probably come out in the morning is my guess, because I'll be able to put a show together hopefully after Monday. I'll be able to get enough interviews on Monday to put a show together. If you, like I said, if you want to be on the show, if you and even better, if you know someone who should be on the show, because a lot of times nobody will volunteer, but like Rick will know, hey, you should go talk to so and so. You can send me, you should go talk to so and so's as well, and because that's sometimes the best way. People don't realize they should be on the show, and then I get the conversation going, and it's a fantastic conversation. So, yeah. Hook me up with all that stuff. Cool. Are you already exhausted? You've only been there for what, a day and a half?
Yeah, just a little bit under 24 hours. Like I said, man, I'm excited for the car show thing to help out Duncan Aviation.
Yeah.
Uh, Looking forward to it. I will say, if you're not familiar with the Sportity app,
Oh,
grab
yeah.
that, download the Sportity app. That's how we primarily communicate with everybody once we're on site. And I'm looking forward to setting up and getting people. I think a lot of people saw my Facebook post. I always take a picture of the empty site again to show incredible nature of its size.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll shoot up another picture once we're set up, just for fun, once we have everybody on site on Friday. Looking
Cool.
forward to everybody getting here.
Cool. And lastly, check out the food trucks. I love Indian food, and people are shocked when I tell them some of the best Indian food I've ever had has been from a food truck on an airport tarmac in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yep.
And if the truck is there, the same truck is there this year, which I hope it will be, the lady who runs it is just absolutely spectacular. She's like, if you've had a bad day, if you've had a bad run, and you're not happy with how your car is going, and go buy some Indian food from this lady, and there's no way you will walk away from that truck without a smile on your face. So
Yeah, she is coming back this year, so
yes.
good news there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, cool. Rick, thank you. I look forward. I'll be there on Sunday night. Probably not come to the site until Monday morning, but we will definitely connect. And if there's anything I can do to help out and help with anybody or anything, you just let me know, okay?
I sure will. Thanks for having me, and safe travels. See you in Lincoln.
Absolutely. That's going to do it for this episode of Inside the SCCA. If you like what you saw, please subscribe and like the Racing Network on YouTube and the Racing Network on your podcast provider. We are on both the regular audio podcast, which was our roots, and then YouTube as well. Enjoying every bit of that, so check us out there. Leave a comment, especially if it's a good one. If it's not, put it on someone else's page. I know you can give me bad comments too. I'm good with that. We have a great time here. If you're not going to Lincoln, please check out our coverage. If you are going to Lincoln, please stop by and say hi. And I look forward to all of what is coming up. This is Inside the SCCA. Have yourself a great weekend. Stay safe and go play with cars.